Hi everyone and welcome along. The sun is out, so it feels like the perfect time to paint some sunflowers, and we're putting them in this absolutely gorgeous wreath. And this is a great opportunity to really hone your skills with watercolour flower painting, starting with those lovely light bright colours, getting the yellow petals contrasting with those deep dark centres. So let's see what we need to get started. To paint this sunflower wreath, you will need cold pressed paper, mine is 7 inches by 6 inches. An HB pencil and a compass or something round to draw around. Hard and soft erasers. Pointed round brushes, size 0, size 2, and then a larger one for mixing colours. 2 jars of water. Paper towel for blotting your brush. Colours I used: lemon yellow, Hansa yellow medium, yellow ochre, permanent orange, burnt sienna, moon glow, green gold, sap green, deep sap green, aqua green, Payne's grey. Grab your paints and let's get started. A big error people make when drawing wreaths or painting wreaths is making their circle too big, because you can spend forever painting a wreath and really feeling like you've lost the enjoyment of it. I've got a 7 by 6 inch piece of paper. I found the central point, and I've just made my compass 1.5 inches wide to make it roughly 3. And then it means that, you can have flowers in and out and make them bigger and bulkier. But if I'd made one sort of that kind of size, it would be probably too close to the edge in terms of the design, and also it would just take forever. So keep your circle small, and of course fade it with the kneadable eraser. Now you could also draw in some circles where you want your sunflowers to be, or you can just go straight in with the paint. So you can see very faintly that I've drawn in circles, but also ovals for where the flowers will be on an angle. Now last week I did a rundown of mistakes that are very common for beginners, but also a really good reminder for all watercolour artists. And one of them was about starting light, looking for the lightest colours. And with sunflowers, the petals are so much lighter than the centre. So I'm beginning with the petals on each of my flowers, and it's also a little bit of a challenge that I always have these circles so that I can sort of aim to anchor my petals in the middle of the flower. But because sunflowers do have such large centres, it can be easy to sort of get a bit lost. So just keep on imagining that imaginary bullseye, and if you want, you could sort of make a little mark in the middle like I've just done, because it's all going to be painted over with a dark seeded centre. And then of course you can add a little wet on wet of a bit of orange if you want. There are so many different varieties of sunflower, lots of different shades and variety of petal. But the other thing to think about is how the petals do often tilt forward quite a lot. So when you have an oval, you're going to have quite a lot of the petals coming upwards and over the front of the central flower, so you're not going to see all of the centre. So just paint your petals accordingly around that sort of dinner plate centre. I'm going to try a bit of ochre on the petals this time. And we're just going to build that up first. Now we've got our flowers' petals painted in, we can move on to filling up the wreath with greenery, so the leaves around the edge. And at this point you could choose to add different types of foliage. I think my initial intention is to start off just by sticking with sunflower leaves, but we shall see. So I'm still using my size 0 brush quite happily, and I want to sort of keep a sense of the circle of the original sort of drawn compass circle to make sure that things remain on track. But we do want to make sure that we have a nice sort of organic feel to things. So these stems can sort of fall off the edge a bit or come in like this one. Now, sunflower stems are thick, and also they're really quite sort of chunky on the back of a flower. So if you've got one on an angle, I'm just really sort of bringing in quite a deep amount of sort of sepal on the back and placing that in sort of first, so that then I know where, which way is this one going to go? I think I might have this one actually coming from this direction. That's the thing to keep thinking about, is where are your stems coming from? Then it feels more like a sort of natural chain of sunflowers than just a load of floating ones. So this one's interesting because this is sort of angled on its side. So I'll have that one coming in like that. So now I've got those sort of roughly connected. I can now start to add leaves and things. So we've got this big open bit at the top, so I can sort of extend that and maybe have it sort of coming off a little bit up here and start to place in maybe some of the sort of smaller leaves that you get. But sunflowers have these really massive, mega sort of kind of like dinner plate leaves sticking out. So we'll have plenty of nice full leaf to thicken up this wreath, because you want to be able to have a nice sort of even feeling wreath. And that's why we put in the sort of the focal flower first, the big sunflowers. And of course you could have a few leaves just kind of literally poking out from behind the petals like that. And it also helps sort of define the edges of the petals. And then you can have some growing off the side like this. You can see I'm just using a sort of wet mix of all the colours that I've got woken up in the palette. Sap green, deep sap green, green gold. And of course green is a wonderful colour to just mix purely from your palette, so you could come up with lots of lovely ones. But at the moment I'm keeping things light. I'm not going into too much detail yet. I'm just mapping out the sort of shape of the wreath so that I have a nice sort of composition that I'm happy with. If you've got any visible pencil, this is the perfect time to get your hard eraser and rub it out, because, I mean, obviously let the green dry, but this is the point where you've basically painted everything that required drawing, because of course having the petals in means we've defined the central circles, so we don't need any pencil to tell us that we need to paint something in the middle of those flowers. But it's just a really good reminder that actually rubbing out pencil is quite a sort of a live process. You need to be thinking about it throughout the painting. Okay, so we're going to paint the centres now. I've got some yellow ochre, some burnt sienna, and what I think is a bit of a secret weapon is the moon glow colour. And I'm going to start with my lighter colour, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to sort of dab it in around the centre. And because you get sunflower centres that are quite light and bright and orangey, you get some that are really deep dark, dark brown. I'm allowing myself to sort of make that decision as I go. So I've started nice and light, but now I'm starting to mix in a bit of moon glow in there. And also you'll notice that I'm creating quite a sort of three-dimensional shape by just allowing for little bits of unpainted space here and there. And then if I come in with just some slightly more pure moon glow, and using a sort of bit of wet on wet here, because it's all just a little bit damp and fresh, I can just carefully build up those layers. And also you'll notice that I'm focusing on the lower half, which just gives it a slightly more three-dimensional appearance. So I would say you have got all the freedom to paint in your centres in whatever sort of lightness or darkness you like. You could go for those amazing bright orange centres, the ones with quite a bit of green in the middle as well. But the key thing is to just keep your centres sort of textured with lots of dabs, and also don't underestimate leaving little bits of unpainted space even when you're doing really dark centres. So I'm just using my size 0 brush, mixture of browns. I've got yellow ochre, burnt sienna and moon glow, and I'm just building it up slowly. I'm really pleased with how this is looking, but we have got one of these side angle ones which I thought I would demonstrate to you, because as you can see we have the petals sort of coming up over the top. So what I like to do is get my first colour and just sort of mark out where we're going to actually see the, there we go, we're going to see the centre of the flower, and then I can just fill it up with a few dabs. There we are, and you just see what you see. Right, now it's time for just a little bit of contrast on the leaves, and then we'll sort of see what we think about the petals. We might want, as other things start to build their contrast, you need to keep it balanced so that everything on the page feels like it's got the right amount of light and shade on it. So I'm just taking a bit of aqua green into my green colours, and then we will get a bit of Payne's grey because it is a great shadowy tone. So we've just cooled and darkened these leaves here, and I still think the size 0 brush is going to be good. So I'm going to take some of this darker colour, but it's a glaze, it's transparent, and what I can do is I can use it sort of with a little bit of detail because I've got the size 0 brush. So it's not just purely a shadow, it's here to create just a little bit of interest and darkness. So I'm allowing it to sort of create a bit of a low light, maybe a little bit of texture here and there on some of these leaves, but just not worrying too much. And you can see it's just about giving that little bit of contrast, suddenly makes it much more three-dimensional. So the green has really come to the fore, and now we're going to finish off by giving the yellow petals just that little bit more oomph with some yellow ochre, some permanent orange and some Hansa yellow medium all here. There's my little selection, and I can just use this colour to give these petals that little bit more contrast, so I can sort of edge them a little bit, give them a bit more detail, but I can also use this slightly deeper colour as almost like a little bit of a shadow. It's not sort of, we're not outlining the petals, we're just giving them that little bit more contrast. And I would say don't sort of think about doing it on every single flower, every single petal, but the ones where you feel like it just needs a little bit more to help sort of stand it up next to these deep green leaves. And there's your finished sunflower wreath. I think that looks absolutely gorgeous and a really lovely piece to do for a card or just a nice little thing to put in your journal or hang on the wall. And it's a great sort of reminder of how we build up colour slowly, starting with the lightest ones. Keep your pencil lines really nice and light, and you can create some absolutely gorgeous things. So thanks so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe, and we'll see you again soon. Bye!